looking at Squarespace.com. This is the templates for restaurants that they are offering. Now, some of them are better than others, but this is where I want to start our instructions today to let you know that I'm going to be basically converting my old recipe app, which is, as you can see here, is so old that I was using class components when I did it in React a long time ago. And as you can see here, it's got everything still running and it's doing MongoDB. But what I want to do is kind of convert this into the data I need to use for, let's say, a restaurant. So not only would you have all of the ingredients and instructions on how to use it, but it would pull that data into, let's say, a restaurant's website. And I also want to make this website serverless, and ultimately anybody can just put their data in there and choose a theme and have their own website for their own restaurant. And it would be hosted for free. So you would also, what you would do basically is pay for the domain, and then you could turn wherever it is on GitHub into something, unique. But as you can see here, I've got content management for images and videos, and obviously these are all the ingredients. So there's a content management already here that I'm kind of curious if I'm going to salvage or not. But let's see, back to recipes. As you can see, it does handle anything fairly easily, and you can leave comments as well. But I'm using Google OAuth. So basically anybody that comes here can come in and leave, just whatever they'd like as far as a recipe until it fills up. It's a free account from MongoDB, so it doesn't have very much space. Anyway, so as you can see, I've done this before. I don't know if you guys remember down here, I have a dynamic theme CSS tutorial. So basically, this would be option 1, and then you change this parameter, and the template shows a completely different site. This would be basically like a league of multiple teams on baseball, and as long as you change this parameter to identify which data you'd like to pull, that's what shall happen. And so if I go back to 1, you can see now here it's just it's another site. It's just a template that swapped out the data. Some of you may remember this from a very long time ago, 2019, where it's the same template or the content management system I've had, and based on the ID that I sent Firebase, it tells Firebase which data it'd like to show. So here I've got Basset Hounds. And so it works just as good for any template. You could put maps, events. Here's a blog that you can include. So I just included a blog here with no problem. Here's their contact information. Now watch this. It's the exact same site with a different ID. And so now it's a band. And these are just some details about the band and where they'll be playing and whatnot. But it's, like I said, the same website. So if we go to Wilson Fundraiser, you'll see this is the exact same site, but here we went ahead and put a domain name to it. So at that point, the same site, but it's been unique. So you don't have to have that user ID. You can just do a domain. And that brings me to my point of what I'm going to be building here. As you can see on this local data, I'm going to build out a template, and then I'll have a config that basically says, where's your data? What are the links that we're going to need? And then we're going to coincide how many banners and what kind of HTML you want your banners, what you'd like on your about page, what kind of media you'd like. We're going maps, images, text, YouTube videos, HTML. Events, we'll go ahead and set up, just like I showed you a second ago, any blog address for your website. And obviously we're going to have a contact information, and that's kind of how we're going to get started. I'm going to build this out so that it's a generic template for any restaurant. And they would be providing this content static. And also, you'll notice that, you see, we'll get it out of here. This is the data that I had working from MongoDB. I downloaded it. So what I'm going to do basically is have it so where you tell me where your data is for your restaurants. And as long as you fit the data model here, we will basically grab what you need. I mean, it'll basically be like dirty rice, and then we'll be putting categories. We'll probably have possibly the image. But since it's coming in from MongoDB, obviously I won't take everything here. That's not going to be necessary. But the things like the ingredients will be, and then we'll build out a generic model that will be something that everyone can use and populate the website with their theme and with their photos and banners and their information. And that's my next move for the time being. It's fairly simple. I don't really know how many people will use it. Most people just don't know who I am. So why would they use anything I've ever built? And that's kind of how everything goes. But I'm just trying to stay busy. And, somebody called me and offered me like some money to do a website for their restaurant. I'm like, well, there's an idea for you. We can do a template for a restaurant, and anybody and everybody can use it for free. And I hope whoever's interested follows along and decides that this is something worthwhile, and maybe you can contribute, some new stuff on your website that kind of reflects these ideas. I hope you learned something here, and I hope you enjoy this series.